wrote the song. Thoughts become action. Tell me what's happening. What's your mind wrapped in?
Alright, what's going on YouTube? Nasif here from Click. And if you're here from part one. Okay, so this one, part one, just to recap, Energy X2 won on numbers, Energy X2 won on personal favorite. The other two phones are great phones, don't get me wrong, but if you're gonna go with kind of bang for your buck, Energy X2 is where it's at. So we're gonna clean these up now. We'll leave the Energy X2 with its little crown piece of plastic or a piece of paper there, and well, it fell off. And we're gonna put these aside now, out of the picture, and we're gonna move. We'll give it the crown. We're gonna move on now to the sub $300 category, which is with the so we got sub 300 here, and we have the Vivo 5 here, guys. If you know why I have this piece of paper here and not the phone, it's because my brother took the phones to England and he needs them there, so it is what it is. We'll move on. We'll go on without it. It's no big deal. So guys, in terms of this category, now we're gonna move on. So again, price-wise, it's not sub 300. It's give or take $300. So when I bought the Vivo Air LTE, it was just under $300 or just over $300. I can't remember. It was so long ago. I don't remember the exact price. And when I bought the Vivo 5, I believe it was just over $300, taxes and shipping and all that stuff. So, or perhaps it was under again, I can't give you guys an exact number, but that's why. That's the price is there. Again, the reason why we have this piece of paper here and not the phone, he has the phone in England, my brother, so it is what it is. We'll move on from that. So we'll make a little bit of a chart here. So we'll have here the Air and the 5. Okay, so we're gonna have a little tally thing here. These are just gonna be the numbers. So if the Air wins a category, we'll mark it. If the 5 wins a category, we'll mark it, and we'll tally the points up at the end. And then after that, I'll give you guys my personal opinion and personal preference on which one I think is the better one to go with. Now, keep in mind, guys, you can get this one now for what was it? I think it was $190 plus $20 shipping in Canada. So with taxes and everything, you're looking at about $250. So if you were to pick this up now, you're saving about $50 over the Vivo 5, give or take. So we'll move on now. First thing I want to talk about, screen. They both have the same 720p AMOLED panel. Guys, the colors on AMOLEDs are fantastic, and it's not like I'm comparing AMOLED to LCD anymore. It's AMOLED to a piece of paper. I mean, the Vivo 5 screen. Like again, AMOLED panels the colors are vibrant, the blacks are deep. Battery life is much better on AMOLEDs, I find. So I mean, I'm gonna have to give both a tie, because actually, you know what, guys? It's so hard to decide, because these phones are like these two, the Air and the Vivo 5 they're very good phones in every category. I'm gonna give a point to both here. So we're gonna give the Vivo 5 and the Vivo Air a point on both for the displays, just because they look fantastic. I actually, you know what? I'm gonna be a little bit biased here, and I'll give the Vivo 5 1.5 points, just because it has a 5.5-inch display, and for me, 5.5 inches is like kind of the sweet spot. The 4.7 inches it's not too small, but then it's not big enough for certain tasks and stuff like that. And with this phone, they could have kind of extended the screen a little bit and got rid of this chin here, but it is what it is. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about the speakers. So we'll go right away here. Give the Vivo 5 a tick here for speakers. Because the Vivo Air speaker, guys, it's very, very tinny. There's no bass, there's no mids. It's all like piercing highs. It sounds very crap. The Vivo 5 it's very similar in that it's tinny, but it has a little bit of bass, has a little bit of the mids, has a little bit of the highs. It's not just all highs and piercing, shrieking highs in your ear when you're listening to it. And the Vivo 5 does get louder than the Air LTE, so it's gonna take the point there with speakers. In terms of battery life, the Air has what is it? I think it's a 2100 milliamp hour battery. I don't know off the top of my head, guys. And the Vivo 5, I believe, has a 3000 milliamp. If I'm not mistaken, has a very much larger battery. And in terms of screen on time and whatnot, the Vivo Air LTE, from what I can remember, based off my usage, gives me about 3.5 to 4 hours on a good day of screen on time, and the Vivo 5 will easily give me 3.5 to 4 hours. So if I were to powerhouse my both phones for the day, The Vivo Air probably give me about 2 hours of screen on, 2.5 hours, and the Vivo 5 would give me about 3.5 hours. So if that's like a comparison there. So battery life again, it's gonna go a tick to the Vivo 5 for that. In terms of charging times, the Vivo 5 I believe has quick charge, and again you can't compare quick charge to just normal charging. Even though this has a smaller battery, the Vivo 5 charges that much faster, so we're gonna give that another tick there. Neither of them has wireless charging, so it's whatever. You can't really do anything about that. So that's that. What else do I want to talk about here? The software experience, guys. I've always said this with the blue phones. I like the skin that they put on the Vivo 5, the Energy X2, the Energy XL, and the Pure XL. The skin is fantastic. It's not overpowering like some of the, like for me personally, Samsung skin is too much. The Vivo 5, like the blue skin that they put on there is so, it's enough it's not customization is the wrong word. There's enough, it's different to other Android phones enough like for people to say, oh, that's cool, but it's not so much that it's like you're just sitting there and don't know how to use the OS. That's the good trade-off here. So again, Vivo 5 is going to take that. So we're at what, 5.5 points for the Vivo 5 and 1 point for the Vivo Air, unfortunately. So what else do I want to talk about here? Builds, guys. Oh man, this is hard to do. It's hard to do, but I like the Vivo 5 or the Vivo Air's build better. Guys, it's called the Vivo Air because it literally, you hold it in your hand and you don't even know it's there. It's so light, it's so thin, it's so great for day-to-day use. It's fantastic. And the Vivo 5, don't get me wrong, that phone has by far, when that came out, that was by far Blue's best built phone ever. So you know what? We'll give we'll give the Air 2 points just to keep it in the race a little bit, and we'll give the Vivo 5 another 0.5 here. So now we'll scratch these out, give it 2 points here. Okay, so the Vivo 5 is at 6 points, and the Vivo Air is at 3 points. What else here do I want to talk about? Cameras. The Vivo Air LTE camera is mediocre at best. It takes decent pictures when you need it to, like just quick snaps here. It's quick. I have to give it that. Again, we'll take get the Coke bottle or the Coke thing here, and we'll take a picture of it here, and we'll take a look and see the picture quality. Yeah, and it's not going to show up on your screen here. If I turn the brightness down, it might a little bit. But on my end here, okay, so the red, again, AMOLED panels, they make the colors pop that much more than they should sometimes, and this is one of those cases. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but the red on here, it's like a Santa Claus red almost. In person here, this is like a Ferrari, like a racing Ferrari red color. It's so overblown, the colors. And that, I don't know if that's to the image processing or whatever, or if it's just to the screen, but the pictures on here, they look really, you wouldn't expect it from a $200 whatever $300 phone. You'd expect it from maybe the Pure XL, like kind of price range. So the camera on here is not crap, don't get me wrong. I may have been bashing it earlier on, but the Vivo 5 camera, I have to say, is just a tad bit better. So we'll give the Vivo Air half a point. So there we got 3.5 points there for the Vivo Air, and we have what is that, 5, 6, 7 points for the Vivo 5. Okay, so both, again, don't get me wrong, both cameras are fantastic, and you know what? It's so hard to make the decision between these two phones in terms of camera, but they're both fantastic. Selfie shooters, again, I don't take selfies, so I really can't tell you, but I'm sure they'll operate just fine. You know, the whatever 5-megapixel cameras on the front, they'll operate just fine, no problems with that. Just trying to think what else that I may want to talk about. I think we covered pretty much it for this one here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the comparison here. So we'll take a look here at the numbers. So this is based off of our single kind of point-to-point comparisons here. You have the Vivo Air with 3.5 points, and you have the Vivo 5 here with 5, 6, 7 points. Okay, so the Vivo 5 took it by double the amount of points, but did it really? Because in my personal experience and personal opinion, guys, sure, the Vivo 5. Like if I'm talking, okay, so let's get this going. Let's get this straight here. If I'm talking price points when I bought the Vivo Air LTE, then the Vivo 5 is the better phone. But you guys are not buying the phone when I bought it, right? So it's like, yeah. So for $300, overpriced, well priced. For the price that you're paying now, like 200, I think it's, don't mistake me, or don't, I think it's 220 plus shipping, which is like $10 or something. So about 230, 240 bucks for this. And with the Vivo 5, you're spending about 300 something bucks. Okay, so with the Vivo 5, what you're getting a little bit better is slightly better processor, 1 gig more of RAM, and the individual things that the Vivo 5 took here. But is it worth that extra money? Honestly, I keep going back and forth, but in all honesty, it probably is worth the extra money just to go with the damn Vivo 5. But personally, I just love having one of the thinnest, one of the lightest smartphones on the planet in my hand. When you take this wow factor, okay, this is what I like to talk about as well. When you're talking wow factor here, when you take the Vivo 5 out, you know what it looks? It just looks like a bigger iPhone, silver iPhone. You take it out, whatever, people think it's an iPhone 6. You take this thing out, I mean, sure, it looks obviously like an iPhone, but an iPhone is not this thin. An iPhone isn't this like light, and this this one has the wow factor. When you give the Vivo 5 to someone, they're like, oh yeah, whatever, it's a smartphone, it's built well, that's nice. You give them this thing, their first impressions is holy shit, right? They're like, oh, does this thing have a battery in it? And it's like, it's fantastic, and that for that reason alone, I'm gonna have to say the Vivo Air wins it in my opinion. So this is in my opinion. So we'll put here an N. The Vivo Air wins it. All right. It's Pen deciding to die on me, so it is what it is. But again, guys, for sub $300, the Vivo Air is going to take it in my opinion. And for the number comparison, well, they're not numbers, but like actual like individual specs comparisons, the Vivo 5 takes it. So take from this video what you will. Personally, it's so hard to decide between these two things, but just because of that wow factor, I would go with the slightly lower end smartphone, just to look cool in public, because I'm that type of douche. But it is what it is. So again, guys, just to recap, sub $300, numbers wise, or spec to spec wise, Vivo 5 takes it. If you have a brain, the Vivo 5 takes it. But if you're me, if you're an idiot, the Vivo Air LTE takes it any day. So that's going to be the end of this comparison. So this is the sub $300 category. We'll give the crown there to the Vivo Air LTE, and then we'll put the Vivo 5 there as well, just because both of them are winners in my eyes. But yeah, guys, if you like this video, feel free to drop a like on it. If you like the content on the channel, feel free to drop a subscription. Definitely helps us out. If you know anyone who's interested in, sub $300 blue phone, sub $200, whatever categories I'm going to be covering in this kind of mini series here, definitely link them to it, because hopefully it'll help them out. And I'm definitely enjoying making these videos. So guys, I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to move on now to the, we got here the Pure XL. And this should say sub 500, so I'll correct that. And where's the Energy XL sticker gone? It's here, I think. No, that's the sub 200. Energy, no, that's not it either. I lost the Energy. Well, there goes one of the phones. So there is the Energy XL sticker. So in the next video, part 3, this will be the kind of the top of the line head-to-head battle between the Energy XL and the Pure XL, the two XLs of blue. So you know what, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to cut the video here. So again, thanks guys for watching. It's been Nasif from Click, and I'll talk to you guys in part 3. Peace.